dear participants, I think we will not wait for those who enjoy a nice cup of tea or coffee, because that is what they now deserve after a long day. But I would like to thank you for being with us for this session, which will be a unique opportunity for you to learn about some of the very concrete engagement opportunities in the IAU. So what we would like to do is, or what we planned on doing with the whole team in Paris as well, is to provide a little bit of insight into what is the IAU. Because you're a member, and yet maybe you forget about some of the opportunities that we have prepared for you, and others are not yet member, because we're convinced, obviously, that after the conference all of you will join, which is fantastic. So what we do here is present the activities in the 4 pillars of work, so the 4 key priority areas of work. And so we will launch now the first slide. Yes. So IAU in brief. Obviously, we could talk to you about IAU for a whole year, or for a week, or for whatever, but we have 45 minutes. And in those 45 minutes, we will just hint to a few things that we do. So in very brief, what do we have to offer? We have to offer global events and discussions and debate and networking opportunities, as you have seen since yesterday and this morning. We provide advisory services, training, peer-to-peer learning opportunities, global advocacy as well, and representation. We go to conferences where you invite us. We go to others where we wish to also be present, and make sure that we listen into the discussions that are taking place around the world. We do research and we analyze trends on specific topics. We have publications that we send to the members, but some of them are also on sale. And we maintain a quite wide variety of specialized portals on topics, as you will see. So, but what is IAU then? IAU is the global voice of higher education. It was created in 1950 under the auspices of UNESCO, as Pam said this morning. And yet, at the same time, we're not UNESCO. Some people sometimes mix the two a bit, which is normal, because we work on many of the topics that UNESCO also puts forward, but we provide a platform for higher education to have an independent voice. So we're an independent, international, non-governmental organization. And we are this official partner of UNESCO, working specifically on higher education and research, and committed to advancing the cause of higher education around the world. So we're based and headquartered in Paris, yes, yet we are also present elsewhere around the world, because we have board members representing the IAU on all the 5 continents. So our values, the values that, your values actually, the values of higher education, or the values upon which we believe higher education should strive and be built, are ethics and integrity. They are equity, solidarity and cooperation, global responsibility towards all communities, appreciation of diversity, and we've heard that a few times already today, the partnerships and the diversity to the understanding of the other, quality in learning, research and outreach, and certainly as well academic freedom and institutional autonomy. And so this could be, you see the circular lines, they are all interlinked, they can all be picked up one after the other, but they're certainly connected and form part of the basis upon which higher education institutions and systems, for that matter, should be constructed. So IAU is offering unique networking opportunities with institutions from around the world, but also with the organizations and associations that are developing here and there and everywhere. And we have a series of key partners with whom we work. And some are here in the room. So we work with many associations in countries and regions, and we work with big international and multilateral organizations as well. It's rotating. Technology, I think that's one of the topics, no, upon which we work. So the second slide, please. So It doesn't stop. So the second slide really is to present IAU as well in terms of membership. We represent the higher education community globally, and in the World Higher Education Database that we maintain together with UNESCO, we list 18,000 higher education institutions, and we reach out to all of them. Those who are more engaged and really want to benefit from our work and collaborate with us in more detail are in a number of 600 some institutions of higher education. And then we also count 30 member organizations. Please go to the website and learn about who the institutions and the organizations are. Then we also count 20 affiliates. That's the other bodies who also, and other stakeholders who really work on higher education yet don't have a membership base as such. And then we are present in some 120 countries. We have partners, and I talked to those already, intergovernmental partners, and the first one and the most obvious one, considering that we've been created by UNESCO, is UNESCO. And we advocate to UNESCO at different platforms and in different contexts, and most specifically so on education and higher education. We work with the World Bank Group in regions and internationally. We work with the Council of Europe. We work with OECD, but certainly so, you should note that we represent your voice to these big multilateral organizations. So we're a partner. We really are invited to the table to discuss issues, and we bring members of our community to the table each and every time we can. So we're also in this official partnership with UNESCO. We wish to, in addition, partner with many national, regional associations and organizations working on specific issues relating to higher education, to make sure that we capture what's happening around the world and are able to be this voice, this global voice of higher education institutions, which the members entrust us to be. So our vision is this, to be the most representative and influential global association of diverse higher education institutions and their organizations. We don't aim for the highest ranks. We don't aim for the biggest. We don't aim for the oldest. We're not disciplinary. We really wish to represent and bring on board a very diverse range of institutions and organizations in order to promote and advance a dynamic leadership role for higher education in the societies. This link to society is essential. The mission is to promote collaboration among members, to pursue creation and dissemination and application of knowledge. We've heard that a few times already. We need to connect the dots there as well. The knowledge systems are not only one. They don't come from the north, they don't come from the south, east or west. They come from all parts of the world, and they need to be connected in a different way. So we advocate for policy and practices that respect diversity and focus on equity and social responsibility. It sounds obvious on a slide, not always easy to do, as you know better than we do. So we want to act as a forum for innovation, for shared and mutual learning, and for joint action. And how do we do this? We adopt a strategic priority, a strategic plan, and that strategic plan is adopted each and every time our general conference meets, and that is once every 4 years. So we have these international conferences. You're part of this today. Next year, we will meet in Puebla in Mexico, and the year after we will have the conference, the general conference at UCD in Dublin. So in 2016 we met, thank you. This is wonderful. You always have to speak on top, and also this morning it felt like a windstorm sitting here in front. It's interesting. Well, anyway, so a strategic plan, and the strategic plan was adopted at the General Conference when we met in Bangkok in 2016, and the strategic plan runs for 4 years. In this one, we adopted the 4 key priority areas of work that you see: leadership, technology, sustainable development, and internationalization, and they're embedded in what you saw earlier. So the first one, values-based institutional leadership in higher education. Leadership is a core aspect of quality higher education. We try to define it the whole day, but it's part and parcel of it. It's vital in enabling institutions to respond to complex challenges, to rapid pace of change, and to multiple responsibilities. For IAU, values-based and responsible higher education leadership calls for what? It calls for less commodification of education, for more equity, for working within an ethical framework, and for ensuring that higher education and research institutions contribute to and are recognized as essential for sustainable development of democratic societies. Quite a plan, no? And that's what we work on with you all. So what we won't do is give you all the other activities that we do, but we wanted to focus on very specific and concrete opportunities for you to get involved. And so the first one is the Leading Globally Engaged Universities program, also going by the name LGEU. It is a 5-day leadership development program hosted twice a year by a different IAU member institution each time. And we have here a few hosts of the event, and we even have a few alum. So maybe if you stand up, people can then meet you and ask if it was worth it. Well, apparently he's here, so he still believes in what IAU does. Thank you very much. Coming from Colombia, but attending the LGEU session at McMaster University, and it was a wonderful event there. We also in the past met at UCD in Dublin, which was also a fantastic event. We met in Colombia itself, which was a unique opportunity to not only meet with colleagues from many different walks of life and from around the world, but certainly also to get to know the country itself and to learn about the higher education system and to meet with different institutions. And lately we met at CDCPA in Romania, in Bucharest, and that session as well allowed to learn about the member institution and then to meet with other universities in the city around and to learn about the system and what actually motivates and moves and changes and transforms the education there. So 6 sessions, I didn't mention them all, sorry for that, but we can discuss any of these aspects with you. We've got a whole nice group already of 74 alum from 31 nationalities, and we try there to also live up to SDG 5 and gender equality. And so we have a good balance, we believe, between in attendance of men and women. So this is an opportunity that allows people to really understand the global landscape, to learn how to manage strategic planning processes, to develop leadership skills in a different way, because you have to understand from others also how they do it, or you can learn from others. It is an opportunity to create and understand how to manage effectively a team, something that is not always obvious to do, and you build a global network of peers. So it comes with all kinds of activities that you can engage in, and it's usually also a lot of fun. And so some say 5 days is long, but 5 days is a real opportunity to disconnect from home and to engage with the others in a different way. The next session takes place in Paris, and you'd better be quick because I've had already many requests to come and participate, and there are only 20 places. So if you want to attend, please contact us at the IAU, and in particular my colleague Juliette Becker, whom you will find in our publications, and otherwise you can ask. So then we move to technology in higher education. And for technology, I would like to introduce it briefly by saying that we had this session already this morning, but technologies and their impact are ubiquitous in all aspects of higher education worldwide. The potential for improving access to education and research is undeniable, yet for various reasons, including, but not limited to funds, the inclusion of and the reflection on how best to use technology in all functions of higher education is uneven from region to region, from country within a region, and from one institution to the next. Rather than enhancing access at time, disparities is in the availability and accessibility of online content could exacerbate existing gaps. And that's what IAU works on, and preventive actions need to be taken so that technology fulfills its promises. And Trine Jensen, whom you've met and already discussed with quite a lot, has developed a beautiful program that she will introduce to you now.
Okay, yes, thank you for just letting me introduce 3 of the initiatives that are taking place right now. In line with what Hillage said, we are living in a world where societies are increasingly depending on digital technologies, where the relationships between human and the machine are changing. But we are also living in a world where I quote the Secretary General of the ITU, the UN agency following ICTs, where 4 billion people remain unconnected to the internet. So it's a world of paradoxes where we have new technologies, new opportunities to improve human conditions, and at the same time, a lot of challenges in front of us to make sure that these opportunities be equally distributed to all. So this is why IAU has chosen technology as one of its key priorities, because we believe that it's important for higher education to position ourselves and to contribute to shaping higher education in the digital world, that it's not only the agenda of tech companies and financial interests, but that we together decide how we wish to move forward and design higher education in the digital era. So we are currently developing a new policy statement. The drafting process is steered by an expert advisory group that we have set up, around 30 members with experts from around the world, including members of our board. And of course, we will not draft this statement all alone. We want to include all our members, and even beyond our membership, include the voices of the higher education community. So I wanted to draw your attention to the fact that we just launched an open consultation. It's in form of a survey, and we have done our best to make very succinct and short surveys in order to make sure that it's not too time-consuming. We know that there is a lot of surveys taking place, but we believe that it's important that we have information about what is happening in the different contexts around the world in order to inform the policy statement, the different principles and values that we would outline and advocate for thereafter. So please take the time to go to our website and participate in this open consultation. It's divided into 2 separate entry points. There's one for vice-chancellors, president, leaders of higher education institutions, because the expert group said we will never reach them if we give them too many questions. So one has been developed only with 14 questions. It should not take more than 5 to 10 minutes of your time. So please do take your time and contribute. There's the second one, which is open to all. Staff working within universities and who are engaged in digital innovations within the universities. It could be from chief information officers to faculty who are engaged in including technology in learning and teaching, etc. This survey is a little bit longer and requires a little bit more of your time, but we hope that it's also your passion and you wish to express your opinions about these transformations, and so that we can use this to develop the survey. You will find the link on our website, and in case you have any questions, do not hesitate to come and talk to me about it. Let me move to the next initiative that I want to highlight. We are launching a new program which is called Institutional Site Visits, and the idea behind this program is actually that we want to bring members together, because IAU does not have the capacity to solve the problem of internet connection and provide internet connections to the entire world. But what we can do is that we can convene members and bring members together from different parts of the world to exchange experiences and to create networks. And we are very pleased to announce that the Open University of Catalonia in Barcelona, Spain, has agreed to host this first meeting and share their experiences. The Open University of Catalonia is the first fully online university, and they are soon to celebrate 25 years, which is maybe young, but taking into consideration that it's an open university, it's actually a long time. We are very grateful to WAC that they are willing to open the doors and let members come and learn from their experience and have the opportunity to take home knowledge that they can adapt to their specific context. It's not only for open universities, it's also for representatives from traditional universities who wishes to learn about innovative online learning mechanisms. So we hope that this could be of interest to you or maybe some of your colleagues in the university. We are planning to have a group about 20 to 25 people, so that it's a rather small session where there is enough time for interaction and exchanges. So please do consider whether you want to join us in Barcelona next year. The final initiative that I'm going to mention is that we have currently as well an open call for papers. Every second year we launch a prize essay competition in partnership with our publisher Paul Grave in order to put focus on research related to higher education. So we hope, or this year, the competition is dedicated to higher education in the digital era. So please be aware of it and share it with your colleagues who are doing research in this field, and do not hesitate to get back to us if you have any questions. And with this, I think we move to the next priority, so I'll give the word back to Hillage.
So maybe that the colleagues from WAC may wish to stand in case you wish to exchange with, with the participants, if I may invite you, because we're very pleased that you're here as well. So thank you so much. It's a very nice cooperation. Then the third pillar of work is higher education and research for sustainable development. And we've heard it this morning. Future well-being of humanity and the planet depends on what? On successful resolution of the interconnected challenges of economic, social, cultural, and environmental sustainability. Because it is really with all that that we will be able to change things. IAU actions in support since its adoption of 2030 Development Agenda and related Sustainable Development Goals provide a new framework for university collaboration in research, curriculum development, outreach, and in pursuit of sustainable development. And we would like to show what we do to actually implement that and to help universities and for universities to help themselves. And I would like to give the floor to Stephanie Malot, who is leading much of the work there. Do you mind having this?
No, it's fine. Hello, everybody. My name is Stephanie, and I'm the program officer, and I'm working with our priority higher education and research for sustainable development. There are quite many initiatives we're doing at the moment, and in everybody's conference bag, you will find a newly designed flyer where you can reach much more, because we also gonna just present a few initiatives. The first one is going to be the new IAU publication series on the SDGs. The SDGs, as you all know, the global agenda, Agenda 2030, has taken quite an impact on IAU's work. Even though we started actually already working on sustainable development in 1993, it has been picking up definitely in the last couple of years, in the last 3 years, since 2015. The publication series, we're going to have one publication for each of the SDGs. We're going to showcase what you're doing, what our members are doing in order to support the Sustainable Development Goals. We already started with the first one, SDG 13, Climate Action, and we are about to launch it in the next couple of weeks. We're almost done with the design. and we hope that you will like it. It will be first an online publication, but we will also bring it next year to the high-level political forum in New York, where we will present it to governments and other people involved in the policy processes. The next one is SDG 5, gender equality, and if you have not done so, please submit your initiatives to us so that we can showcase the world and other people, I mean the world, what you're doing. And yes, after that one, we will do SDG 4, which is quality education. So keep that in mind. We will announce the next publications and the next SDGs after that one. Then we have to technology. We have a new partnership with the National Union of Students in the UK. Quinn is here, if you may quickly stand up. We are signing an MOU here at the conference so that we have a partnership with NUS, and it's a new cooperation about research about sustainability issues at universities. We will partner on certain projects, including the NUS Dissertation for Good, which is like a program where people can write their dissertations about sustainable development related issues. There's also a program about responsible futures, and NUS is going to help us with the development of our portal. In case you don't know, we have a global portal on HESD, where you can also see initiatives, best practices, you can find resources, you can get inspired about sustainable development. And if you have not seen it yet, please go there. The address is www.iau-hesd.net. And if you find your university, most of your universities should be there by now, and you're not, you have something additional you would like to add, please send me an email so that I can include your university and make sure that you're properly displayed. The next one, the next initiative I would like to show, or we would like to show, is the cluster, and we have a little video, and we need to click on it. The cluster is a new project, and yeah, now it starts.
And so we would like to invite Professor Roux Pullman, Vice President for Academic Development from Siam University, representing Professor Poinchai Mongkongvanit, who is the President of Siam University and also IAU board member, and the chair of the work on higher education for sustainable development, who unfortunately had to travel back today. But thank you very much, Prof, for taking the honors. And we would like to invite Pam Fredman, the President of the IAU, to the stage, both of you, to declare the cluster open.
We have the honor, I would say, to declare that we now officially launched the cluster. And as you've seen from the video, we have really from these clusters. So could you please raise up those who are representing in this cluster? I know that some of you over here. Stand up. You need some exercise. So here you see those persons, and I'm really happy to launch this the cluster here, and I hope that this type of work will make a difference, not just for us, but also for the world on sustainable development goals.
So I'd like to thank all of you to join our cluster, and we are looking forward for a good work that we're going to work together. Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. So we're very proud of this and very proud of you. Indeed, 16 higher education institutions from around the world representing the different world regions. And on top of that, we give them a lot of work to do. And so the first enormous task is to bring around them satellite institutions, because we would wish that each institution then works with an institution from all the 5 regions of the world. So it will become a kind of spider web, a network of networks, and it will expand over time, but that will allow to actually really transform this higher education as we wish for it to transform, and to ensure that there will be more transdisciplinarity and transborder, transnational approaches to issues that are of global concern. So thank you very much for being in that. And the first official meeting of the cluster will take place in Paris at the end of January. And during the conference here, we're meeting during lunches and during breaks. And the dynamics is already starting off very well. Thank you very much. We would like now to move back to the PowerPoint, if that's possible. It's there. So we would like to move to the work on internationalization, and there as well, internationalization of higher education is an inevitable process in the era of globalization, and a deliberate strategy for improving, again, quality and relevance of higher education. And IAU focuses on the academic rationales, the equitable and collaborative nature of the process, and aims to minimize the adverse effects of international interactions when these take place in highly unequal and diverse contexts among higher education institutions with different resources, different needs, and different interests. And I'm very pleased to give the floor to Giorgio Marinoni, who will inform you about this.
Yeah, yes, I think so. I think you can hear me. Thank you very much, Iliye, for the introduction. And I will present just some initiative that the International Association of University is undergoing at the moment in the field of internationalization. The first one you certainly know because you have been contacting during this month is the 5th edition of the IAU Global Survey on Internationalization, which was running from March till October, so it has just closed recently. And I'm happy to tell you that IAU received 907 valid replies from institutions from 121 countries around the world, so it's a very good global representation. Right now, we are doing the analysis of the results, and the analysis will be ready in the next month. Our aim is to publish the final report at the beginning of next year, 2019. And the good news is that all IAU members will receive a free copy of the report in electronic form. Other respondents, non-IAU members, will also have the opportunity to follow a webinar, a free webinar where the results will be presented. Okay, yeah. The second initiative, instead, is something completely new. The second initiative is a training. Actually, is the first joint Unica IAU masterclass on internationalization. And the topic of this first event is what does it mean to be a vice rector, vice president for internationalization today. It's an event that will take place between the 7th and the 10th of April 2019 in Dubrovnik, Croatia. And we have already a very rich program that you can find on the IAU website. And I'm happy to announce you that we have the honor of having two IAU board members among the speakers. Professor Andrew Dix and Professor Marta Losada will contribute to this very nice initiative. You can see the details of the registration deadline of 14 January, and the registration fee for IAU members and non-IAU members. The event is limited to 30 participants, so if you are interested, please try to register as soon as possible, because definitely places will finish soon. And finally, I would like to speak about the ISAS 2.0 program. Under the ISAS 2.0 program, we launched a new activity, which was the webinars. We had the first of a series of webinars that we are planning to complete in the first month of 2019. The first one, the topic was developing a strategic approach to internationalization. And this was done in October. It was done twice in English and once in French. Unfortunately, the French reply is, the French participants were not enough, so we are a little bit sorry, but we will have to discontinue this activity in French. We'll go on instead in English, and the next two topics will be evaluating internationalization strategies and activities and achieving comprehensive in internationalization. Then, coming to the institutional part of ISAS 2.0, the Achieving Strategic Internationalization program, we have some ongoing process. We have one in India at KIT, and it's a planning and strategy, a service to help institutions to develop an international strategy. We have an assessing strategy and monitoring achievements that will take place in July next year at Toyo University in Japan. And we have a new one. We signed a memorandum of understanding a few days before coming to this conference at RUDN University in Russia. But we are also here to celebrate the completion of two of these services. The first one took place at Cardiff Metropolitan University in the United Kingdom, and it was the first ever achieving comprehensive internationalization. And the second one was a planning and strategy service, and we have the pleasure of having here the president of Shiga Khan University together with the delegation. And I invite to the stage Professor Kuniko Tanioka, president of Shiga Khan University, to receive the learning badge for successful completion of this service.
So we're very pleased, and I'm pleased also to invite you to say a few words.
Thank you very much. And we were thrilled to go through the procedure with Georgia, and also with Anna from the South Wales University of the Australian, and also Ryuki from Hokkaido, and then of course the Eva Eglon-Polak, who introduced me to this program, and I miss her. And I am very pleased that my staff members really were enlightened, through this procedure, as well as the students. Thank you very much.
So we're very pleased to offer this to you. What's this? Not interesting. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Giorgio. So what you could see and maybe not see, there's acronyms everywhere. Just to spell it out, UNICA IAU masterclasses with the universities and capital cities in Europe, and they will take care of the European part of the program, and we're to take part of the international global aspect. So please do register, that will be nice, and it's an opportunity. Internationalization, technology in higher education and research for sustainable development could never happen if we would not be able to count very strongly on many of the partners that we have around the world. And we have many here in the room. Maybe I could also mention AUF, the Association of Francophone Universities, represented here by two of the colleagues, who supported, for instance, the internationalization survey and who work with us on many other dimensions of development, future new developments. We work with EUA, we work with ACU, we work with AUN, ASEF is in the room, so there are many. And always when you start mentioning, you always forget a few, and that is not good. But you could see in the different working groups and also in the stream with partners that we are very strongly committed to partner with others because we believe in this cooperation. So please do come to us if you have questions, if you want to learn more. I believe that we could go on, but we would like to thank you here. And the last slide is simply this one. Join IAU if you wish. If you're already in there, join our programs. And thank you very much for your attention.
We would like to invite the following panel to join the stage. It will be chaired by Andrew Deeks, the President of University College Dublin in Ireland. Thank you.